Guys, we have... Come on, X-Factor, or online.
Yeah.
Come on, online.
Oh no, I keep screwing that up. Is it doing it?
It says it's
Oh,
streaming.
I'm gonna click. Oh, son.
Guys,
We're doing it.
we're doing the thing.
Holy smoke. I checked it. It's on my phone.
And it's on the
my
computer.
phone. Is it?
Yes, I got it on.
Woo! Oh, it's me. I screwed it up. Dude, okay. Well,
It's a
first
good
of all,
day.
Jackson, how happy are you right now?
I'm to the moon. I could die. I could die right now.
I could die. My life's complete. What? How many weeks has this been since we've been live?
It's been like probably 2.5 months.
And it seems like it's been a long, long time.
It's a great day. Live works. I'm out of my sling today, guys. So I'm happy, happy.
We got 2 arms going on today. You
you
living right.
I got about this much. But
For those of you that didn't hear the story,
all right. So I'm playing football with my dad after the Broncos game a couple weeks ago. Throws it to me. It was a perfect pass. Caught it. As soon as I landed, dogs came up, tabletop me, fell back. I maintained possession of the football, though. That's the most important part. It was a good catch, inbounds. Elbow just dislocated, went pop. So we're in PT right now. Can't touch a golf club for a while or throw a baseball, but, could have been worse.
Yep, exactly. You
Could've
still
been
got
worse.
2 arms.
Yeah.
Just one's
So
out for the count right
It's
now.
a good thing it's not my right arm. That's all I care about.
So awesome. We've got it going back live, which is freaking great. Are we live on Graham? And
We're live on everything,
we're going?
baby.
Well, that's friggin' awesome. So for those of you joining live, welcome in. Anybody that's going to watch this later, super excited for you to take a look, and hopefully we can answer a ton of your guys' questions. If you are live on any of our platforms, either Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, definitely Elite Golf Online, please fire in your questions as I'm up here blasting. Before we get to questions, super excited for those of you on our online platform. We just launched a new masterclass today. It's called the Elite Method. I think it's our best masterclass to date, just because we're looking to tie in the golf club and how it moves in space, how that directly relates to how you're motoring your body, a better understanding of tissue management when it comes to loads and unloads, just this really dynamic view of what the golf swing really is in the entire shape. And on top of that, we threw in our 4 cheat codes as well, so that once you build up your golf swing and the general shape of your golf swing, that then we can tie that directly into ball flight control, curvature of your golf ball, how far you're throwing the golf ball, where face stability really comes from, how to control low point, heel to toe strikes, thin and fat shots. I mean, you name it, it's all in there. And I think, what are there, Jackson? Is there 13 videos? Is that how many videos? 12 or 13?
12 videos.
Yeah, 12 videos, I think totaling just over an hour to an hour and a half of content in there, but I think it's really well done. So I'm super excited for you guys to take a look in there and ask any questions on the actual videos as you're scrolling through, and you have a question on any concepts that I'm throwing out. Definitely ask the question in the comment section. We'll get right back to you, and again, continue to help you build up your golf swing and your ball striking. Dude, let's just hop right into questions.
Guys, live chat. You have no idea how happy I am to talk to you guys again. Oh my gosh.
Nice. You got some comments coming in already?
Oh, already, yes.
Let's go.
Eager
That's
beavers.
awesome.
Let's go.
Okay, man, we got 55 minutes. Let's rock and roll right here,
All
baby.
right. Start off first, Mark Andre.
What up, Mark?
Question. Being a golf nerd, what TrackMan data should I focus on when I got practice during the off-season? Canadian here.
Yeah, great. I think so. A lot of the quantitative stuff out there is fantastic as long as you can get to it from a qualitative standpoint. let's say that we're looking to increase your angle of attack, right? Your AOA is 1 down, you want to get it to 5 down. Number one, first and foremost, low point and AOA are going to be very closely related with one another. Low point control is controlled by where your center of mass of your ribs is, and ribs are in space. So as they're forward here, and I'm unloading the golf club, I'm going to get this like down, 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 ball, down, 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 low point. So the further forward my low point is, the higher or the steeper my angle of attack is going to be. I think when I'm coaching, what I'm constantly looking to do for most players, if most players can hit a stable face, flatter block, we're cooking. Because to be able to do that, most of the time to increase our AOA to get the golf ball down, at the end of the day, guys, to hit it lower, you want to be steeper on it. To hit it higher, we're up on it more. That whole adage of like, hit down on it to get the golf ball in the air and make it go up is just a crock of crap. It's not true. So number one, for me to hit a flatter ball, I need to get my rib cage up here more. And for me to hit a ball that starts off to the right, I need to get the golf club or the club head deep enough. So really I'm managing two things: my sternum, or my center of mass of my ribs, and the club head getting deep enough here. So if I'm going to hit stable blocks, stable flat blocks, you kind of have a lot of the goods in there. So to answer that question, I think we'd take a look at, if you're hitting 6-iron, I'd love you to be able to get in like the 5, 6, 7 down range to be able to train that, while at the same time coming from an inside path. So maybe if we have a path that's somewhere in the like 4 to 5 right, with a face that's around that same number. Like if we're actually going to start it off to the right and keep it there, if I've got a path right of 4 degrees, I'm going to have a face that's right at 4 degrees. If you hit little block draws, that's pretty sexy too. So that means that the ball needs to start right, so the face needs to be right. That's going to show off where the golf ball is going to start for the most part. And then if we have a path that's a little bit to the right of that, then we'll be cooking. So let's just say 2 degrees right with the face, 4 degrees right of target with the path, with an AOA of down 5 with 6-iron. That'd be a great. Those would be great numbers to look at from a quantitative standpoint, okay, to get you started off. But you got to be able to get to those numbers through a qualitative map of your golf swing. What is the shape of the golf swing? Good question.
Great question. Cody Collins.
Cody?
Cody.
Cody, what up, Cody?
Hey, Coach. Seen a lot of toe shots and very low left exit. I'm starting to get the club too shallow as I drop the pelvis, but the arms seem to collapse into the finish with toe strikes. Yeah.
Okay. So now you got a difference between 2 different forces here. So you got centripetal, or you have centrifugal. Centrifugal force is this force that's outward away from me. So if I just went whoom and let go of this golf club, the energy would go here. Obviously, I'm going to keep a hold of it. So see how it just goes out and around me. Centripetal is this pull into, okay? So what will end up happening to you, this is kind of an interesting matchup. If you drop, but as you drop, you invade this space in here, even if I shallow the golf club out, I'm going to have to take the handle and I'm going to pull it into me. And the easiest way to pull it into is with the lead arm. You'll pull it into here. Now we start to get these like really heavily toe shots in here, and the golf club will just like wipe in here through the hit. So what I'd like you to do is, as you're shallowing the golf club out and you're dropping, make sure that you're not invading the space. Yeah, if anything, my hat line is staying away from this golf ball and I'm in here. And as I turn, I'm going to stay away, if not increase this space away from the golf ball. The whole purpose of that is I want centrifugal force, this outward shoot here. That all comes from my ability to turn all of this tissue away so I can unload away, which is kind of funny. Like you're already towing it and I'm telling you to get further away from it. Yeah, so that we can shoot this energy out. So the whole mapping, I'll do this kind of slow so hopefully it can illustrate this. If I'm in here and I fall in here and then I turn away to shoot it out, That's the whole map. We're there to be able to get to it. But see how that golf club didn't like flash too low and left, like artificially low and left? Okay, and with your shallowing, you want to shallow it enough so that as I drop in here, that now I could take that club head and shoot it along this like transverse plane tabletop out here. And see how now it's really easy for me to get that golf club all the way out here. So if anything, we might actually start to get some like nice little like heel shots in here, because it allows you to send energy out and away from you on that transverse plane. Really, really good question. Interesting question, actually.
Don't get that one too much. All right. James. Well, first I'll go Julian. Simon. In response to the elite method. Cool, can't wait to explore this. Already massive progress in my game since I joined the adventure.
Nice. Awesome.
Love
That's absolutely awesome. Great stuff. Great
now
stuff.
We'll go to James. Can you talk about turning into the hips as opposed to ripping the hip open to get your backswing started?
Okay, yeah, that's really interesting. Okay, so I like talking about the hip complex because it's very easy for me to explain this because it's only 2 doggone bones. Freaking shoulder drives me nuts. So, in essence, what we're doing, like let's say that my patella, my kneecap, if I could just stick a pin out of it showcasing where that patella is pointing, okay? I'm gonna keep that knee pointing in the same direction. And if I take my pelvis and I rotate into this upper leg, this is the femur. So I'm taking the pelvis and I'm rotating into this femur right here. As opposed to if I take the femur and start to rip it open, this is external rotation. You just slacked out the entire spiral line if you do that. Screwed, okay? So, and most of the time we don't see that in the backswing where the player's like, yeah, rip the femur open. What we see is, again, with a bunch of these golf nerds that we coach, we'll see like it kind of comes from this idea of like what it appears that Sam Snead did, which is increase this gap between the knees, and they go, I'll just rip this femur open right here. This is external rotation. See how this kneecap goes whom, and nothing's going on in my belt. So this slacks out spiral line. So I want you to sense that you're just rotating the pelvis into the femur and then rotating the pelvis into the femur. So pelvic rotation is fine. That's fine. And at the end of the day, what will happen is you will get rotation in the hip complex, but we're working and moving into the femur. This is also interesting, okay? So if I turn my pelvis and rotate it into this trail femur, that's internal rotation here. This lead femur actually moves into more of an external rotation because the pelvis is rotating away from it. Like my belt buckle right now goes, so see how this angle here becomes more obtuse? And then I'll slam it back closed as I transition. But it sure doesn't go here and then increase more. I'm gonna go here and then close it back down. So see how I can rotate into this, into this, into this, but more or less my kneecap stay pointing forward rather than flashing external. That's what we mean by pelvic rotation rather than hip rotation. It's the same thing, but what I want players to be able to really see in their mind's eye is that the pelvic bone is the bone that we're really rotating, not the femurs. That's the biggest concept there. Not actively rotating the femurs, we're actively rotating the pelvis.
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful. All right.
Beauty, beauty, beauty.
Sean. I apologize. I was going to try and pronounce your name, but you guys know.
Oh, you got to try now.
All right. Baldiga.
Sean Baldiga.
That sounds, my
Sean,
phonetics were all right. I went to a charter
Yeah, it's
school.
nice. It's nice. Sean B. What up, Sean B?
All right. Shallowing is more a big area I'm trying to work on. Want to make sure I'm doing it right. My feel is to use my hands, wrists to get the center of mass of the club behind me as I have good body moves.
Yeah.
No question in
Okay,
there,
perfect.
Yeah.
No, that's great. So Sean, that's awesome. I think what would be really cool, buddy, is I'd love you to. I actually just made like a funny kind of quick Instagram on this. Like as I'm describing this, hop on there and maybe you can take a look at like I've got like mirror on it so you can see like my booty view, and then you can see me from face on. It's kind of silly, but hopefully it can help with an understanding of body movement through spiral tissue line. So what we're doing here, we call this boat drill. Okay, so the boat drill's right in here. It's always reverse locomotion as well. This is hefty in scaps. It's hefty in like my lateral bend in my spine. It's hefty in the rib cage. You'll notice that whatever direction my rib cage is moving, I'm moving into the opposite lateral bend in my spine. And then I also have this shape with the grip. So for us righties, woo, woo, where's that golf club gonna move without me even having to try at all in my hands? So see where that golf club moves. Now the hands are still a massive asset. Like anytime somebody goes, yeah, I'm trying to take my hands out of my golf swing. Don't do that. Your hands are hugely important. There is so much, you've got so much sensory in your fingers that it can help you tremendously with where the face is in space, where the center of mass, like you were talking about, is moving in space. And at the end of the day, you can start to get really precise with where you want that golf club moving in space because you're educating your hands. Okay? Now, main shallowing action is because I'm moving from lead lateral bend in the backswing and transitioning to trail lateral bend in transition. How many times can I say transition? So if I go here with my rib cage, okay, so this is in here, boom. Backswing for me as a right-handed player. Kind of hard to see because I have a black belt on and black pants on today, but right here, I'll put my glove right on top of these belt loops. Okay, so we've been talking to a lot of players about this. This is all spine engine theory. We call this fish mode with all our juniors in the academy. So if I'm a fish, here's my tail right at the end of my spine. Then I got my big fish head up here. So if we're doing just this look with the rib cage, so see how my ribs are right, I'm in lead lateral bend, and then my ribs are left, and I'm in trail lateral bend. If I involve the pelvis, what I'll start to do is I'll start to be, this looks like I'm swimming now. See my fishtail, my booty is moving both directions here. So let's say that I'm going into my backswing for a right-handed player. So that's these ribs. At the same time, I'm gonna move my fishtail in the opposite direction. So I go whoomp, see where that fishtail went? Look at where my ribs or my head just went and migrated over here. Now I'm gonna trade this out. This happens at the same time, guys. This is the entire spine engine. Fishtail and ribs, whoosh, whoosh, boom. Lead lateral bend, trail lateral bend. Lead lateral bend, trail lateral bend. Lead lateral, trail lateral. Lead lateral, trail lateral. So me, and it's not this is really important. It's not lead lateral, trail lateral. I'm super screwed. See where my rib cage just went? If I do this well and then I go clunk, bottom out problems, I got all kinds of issues here. Like no way I'm gonna be efficient from there. But if I'm here, whoom, whoom. Look where that club wants to go. Boom. If I need a little bit more, I can absolutely involve the hands to get it even deeper in here. And that's an easier way to hit like kind of an easier like stable face block draw as well if you can get that deeper. So I think it's fine. Like, listen, at the end of the day, what you're doing is really cool and you're educating your hands on where that sucker is in space, both the face as well as the center of mass. You just want your body's moves to help you move the club in space in the ways that you want, right? So I think it's good for you to educate both. Spine, ribs, arms, pelvis, all of that will help directly influence the club. And then at the end of the day, you use your hands to help like really get to the point where you can be very specific with where that golf club is moving in space during the entirety of your swing. So, yay. Good stuff.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Our boy Micah Houston wants
what
to
up,
know,
Micah?
He wants to know where your costume is.
Where my costume
Your
is?
Halloween costume.
I'm dressing up as a golf pro today.
Zero color.
Which actually makes no sense because I have just I like this time of year, Micah. Listen, I like this time of year because we're getting cold outside. I'm not going to go outside today, so I don't need my collared shirt. I knew that I had this today, so you should be happy that I put my golf shoes on, even though Jackson calls these my moon boots, but they're golf shoes. And I got my golf slacks on. I'm just cheating a little bit because guess what? I get to this time of year, so I'm going to live it up and put my t-shirt on, man.
Yes, sir.
Exactly. So I look like a half scrub, but maybe that's my costume.
Yeah.
I'm a half scrub this year.
20 handicap.
Micah, you're the best, by the way. Love you, bud.
I was contemplating that today, but I'm going to watch one of my buddies coach high school football tonight. So it's going to be like 35 degrees.
Dude.
I'm going to be a snowboarder.
That's football weather.
That's football weather.
That's football weather.
Fall, yes.
100%, man. 100%.
All right, let's hop back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Connor White.
What up, Connor?
Sean said that I got his last name correct the second time. Let's go!
Nice.
He also says, thanks, Riley. Makes total sense. Fish mode.
Right on, buddy. Fish mode, man.
All
Vertebrates.
Right. Connor, how do you perform half swings / punch shots or punch outs with the system? I struggle with knowing what to do. I understand low energy full swings, but a half swing chip shot or chip out confuses me.
Oh, good. That's really cool. Okay, so there's a number of different ways to go about this. I think what might be great is instead of going into all the science of the frickin' thing, let me just give you a couple like images to help you with this. Okay, so number one, at the end of the day, no matter what, we're going to load this thing. Okay, now what does loaded mean? I'm talking directly in the hands here. At the end of the day, the start of my swing, club head's right out in front of me. We would all agree with that. When I load it, the handle might still be in front of me, but the club head sure isn't. This is in front of me. That's on my right side. Again, this was right-handed player, so if any of you lefties out there, just reverse my stuff. Okay, so from right here, so I get right in here and I'm in delivery. If I rip this, like my chest is rotating and rotating pretty firmly, lots of energy in here, what it creates is angular force or angular momentum, and the harder this goes, the more it's going to unload down in here. Okay, so and you'll hear this out of a lot of like really high level players when they're trying to hit flighted shots. To hit it low, you've got to reduce the energy in your swing. It's always something that high level players say. Like, you never try to hit it low hard. It's always, I'm going to hit it lower because I'm like chilled out in my swing.
When it's breezy, swing easy.
I was actually trying to like hunt for it. Like as I was talking, I was like, what is that stupid like little freaking, yeah, exactly.
I got you.
When it's breezy, you swing easy. So like into the wind, we want more club, less energy, because that reduces obviously ball speed. So if I have ball speed, see the apex is going to be way up here. If ball speed is lower, the launch could almost be the same, but it doesn't apex as high as like higher ball speeds, so that's an advantage. You also don't spin it as much. And third, what ends up happening within our mapping is once I'm in here, if I turn gently, see how I can keep the handle in front, but the club head on my right. So what happens to the dynamic loft? Lowers, right? Lowers. So number one, reduce the energy here, more club. And then the final little feel is your wrist structure, wrist complex. Once you get into delivery here, this should be firm right here. Like you're never letting that golf club like pass to shoot back out in front of you here. You're trying to keep the club head on your right side for forever. We're right there. See how like the club, if I kept turning, the handle's in front of me. Look at that sucker, that club head's over on my right side. This looks like it shoots out. That increases the dynamic loft. So more energy here. See how the club can go ahead and pass? Less energy. Club stays over on the right side, and the dynamic loft's going to come way down when you're that way. So Less energy here, firmer in the wrists, keep the club on the right side and just motor with the chest and you'll get that thing pitched down really easily. Good question.
Alrighty.
Also,
Yes.
1B, stop hitting it in the trees. Hit arrows for me. Then you don't have to hit that shot. Kidding.
Yes.
I'm actually really good at that shot because I grew up hitting it a little bit crooked. You know what I mean?
Just a wee bit.
Yes, I can just get it underneath them limbs. No problem at all. Well practiced.
This is, we're going to hop to YouTube. This is actually a very interesting question that I really love. I don't know how to go or to say this. At IIZapX.
Dude, there are some weird YouTube names out there. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. That's a good question.
All right, he goes, apologize for this being a broader, non-technical question, but I respect your team and their approach to instruction. I'll need a second to post to complete this. So his is, how do you guys approach or handle younger students who have a hyperactive mind, specifically behavioral tendencies to always change what they are working on, getting students to have patience, etc. Do you feel it is a byproduct of today's social space and attention span? I've seen incredibly talented players who try to get them involved with elite junior play, but they hurt themselves mentally.
Wow, that's really
That's a
interesting.
phenomenal question.
So, you know what? I think this is one of the greatest parts of coaching. If I'm being super honest, okay, like I love coaching everybody. However, coaching youth is, that's the whole heart of our entire program at Elite Golf Schools. I know a lot of you have found us on Instagram or you found us on, online or whatever through our social media, and you see us from that lens, but where Elite Golf Schools really originated is from a junior-based, long-term junior development program. Even in our mission statement, golf arises like in the second to last word in our mission statement. Our mission statement involves we want successful, service-oriented individuals, and we help build that. So it comes from very much a youth perspective. And so what's super interesting with everybody, but definitely in youth, is you see all these different kinds of personalities. Like each one of our students in our junior academy is like wildly different from the next player and the next player and the next player. And getting to know them and a better understanding of what's actually going to help them be successful in life is I think all of the joy that I personally receive out of coaching. I know Jackson is like, he loves coaching the juniors. That's like his entire lifeline, as well as Tyler here in Colorado. And then we've got Sean McEwen, Tommy Ficini, Justin Bland, and then our OG Doug Wary, that we all came into this academy because of that purpose, and that reason is helping these kids. So getting to your question, I think the number one thing to do with kids is identifying their lowest hanging fruit when it comes to not their golf swing, but how they learn. And if you can have kids, especially with the hyperactivity that you're bringing to the attention, like we see like ADHD, like every single kid gets like diagnosed with ADHD at this point. I'm a farm kid. I grew up on an apple orchard, and obviously no friggin' social media, and I never watched TV. So I'm out there entertaining myself in a friggin' apple orchard. There's not a whole lot of like stimulus like thrown at me from a super young age. It's just a different day and age now. So yeah, no kidding, kids are diagnosed with ADHD at, like there's just more of it because it's just constant bombardment with this like crazy stimulus all the friggin' time. So with our kids here, they put the friggin' phone, like with certain ones, they keep their phone in their bag. If they're kids that come into the academy and they just want to go pull that phone out, they put it into a bin and they're ours for an hour and 15 minutes. For those types of players, if we can keep them focused for 3 minutes at a time and then give them a bit of a reprieve so their brain can go back to being scatterbrained, that's completely fine. 3 minutes might even be a long duration. We might start with 30 seconds, and that's the skill. We might stay there for 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks after that, we might increase that to 60 seconds. Can you stay locked in for 60 seconds? And then you get a little bit of a brain break and think about every freaking thing in the world. But if you add that up over the course of like days, weeks, months, years, you'll be able to train a kid or a person to stay locked in and focus on a task for a lot longer. And if you even think about like adults now, like we battle the same stuff. Like you all have social media, you're scrolling. I get how it goes, man. I go through the exact same thing. But it's nice to just be able, that's part of the reason I think that we like our game as adults so much, because you can lock in and stay focused on 1 or 2 or 3 tasks, hyper focus for 30 minutes on a driving range. I mean, sound goes away. You don't think about work. I find that same thing. I love long range shooting. So I feel, you know, trigger pull or controlling your breath or whatever for an hour is like, it's like medicine. It like calms your brain. So what you're getting at, I mean, I could sit here and talk for the next 28 minutes on this one subject. It's such a great subject. But what you're getting at is so important, because you're teaching youth how to stay focused on something for a longer duration of time. Like when you think about what it takes to be successful in life, that is definitely one of the attributes to be successful in life. Like if you want to further your education, it gets harder and harder and harder. You better be able to lock in on a test. You better be able to lock in on a project or an essay or whatever it might be. Then you get into the workforce. Now you got to be able to like lock in and do a good job. You can't be scatterbrained all over the frickin' place and like you end up never getting anything done. So I think start small, build it up over the course of time, and you'll see wonderful results in that regard.
Yeah, absolutely wonderful.
Don't know if you're a coach or not as well, but like super admirable to hear what you're doing, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Zap, let us know. Oh, he says back to his tag. It was his old gaming account from when he was like 15, so that's why he had a weird ad. But yeah, let us know if you're a coach. We can give. I love. Yeah, that's been one of the biggest things from when I started was, like, obviously you get the kids that just. Everything goes in one ear. We've had to take headphones away from kids because they sit there listening to music and they don't listen to a dang thing we say. So
yeah, it's a different day and age, man.
Yeah,
you know, we'd never do that in our day, but now it's just different.
Yeah,
it's not that it's bad. It's just different. You just work through it. It's great.
Great question.
Yep.
All right, let's go hop back into the online chat.
Nice.
Jacob, can you talk about how to prevent yourself from pulling the handle of the club downward in transition? I tend to do that pretty often and end up very steep or hit fat when doing the hip drop. Yeah,
well, see, and that matchup doesn't work at all. If you drop your hips and yank the handle down, bro, you got one option. It's not a fun one. So here's the biggest difference here, okay? Like, in your golf, I would definitely check, just check on this, just make sure that this is not the case in your golf swing. There is such a thing as an away swing or a back swing. There's not an upswing. I say this because in golf language, there's a backswing and a downswing, which is the stupidest thing in the world. There's a backswing and a forward swing. There's an away swing and a forward swing. When you hit, like the reason that we want some amount of pelvic drop, it's not because we're just lowering. I want to lower my head for no good darn reason because whatever, right? It's because we want to get your chest pointing downward. If I drop my pelvis, see how it angles my chest to point down towards the object that I want to hit. So if that's the case, if I drop my pelvis, the direction I'm going to swing my arms is more from an adduction for the lead arm to AD to AB duction. Trail arm, AB to AD duction. See how this comes right out of my chest here? And that's the most stable hit that we would have. We'd have all the room in the world for the arms. There's no tumble out with the golf club and the face just doing wonky stuff at the bottom. But if you're a player that pulls the handle down, you're guaranteed to be a player that extends the hips and rotates the hips out in the space too early. If I do this, I better darn well pull the handle down because now I have half a chance to hit one down there. Like you would never, I'm never going to see this in my life. Somebody that early extends and also AB and AD ducks because they'd miss the golf ball by 3 feet. It's never going to happen. Okay, so as you're looking to drop the pelvis, the real reason for you dropping the pelvis is to get your chest angled down so that you can hit out of your chest. Okay, along with that, that's why we like to see the club head shallow out a bit, because now, see how it's perpendicular, reasonably perpendicular to my trunk line? So if I shoot this out now, the maths. So I'm here, organize, hit. Just little shots like that would go a long ways for you. We're here, organize is pelvic drop, get the club behind, okay? You might have a little bit of rotation in the chest right in here. Now I'm a delivery, so I can send it out. Back, organize, hit. Good question. Very, very good question.
This would be a good time to touch on this. Ben and Instagram stuff. Funny enough, do you sell a course that teaches the way you teach the golf swing? I love your stuff. How do I learn?
Oh, buddy. Okay. So right now, we're running this on a super, in my opinion, low-priced offering. I don't know. Usually our online program, we sell a year-long offering, and we also sell a month-by-month. Since you're on Instagram, go click in our bio. You'll see on there's a tab that says Online Academy, and it'll jump you right to our online our online academy, where you'll have access to 400 plus videos. I think one of the most special things about this is, as you're looking at all of the information that we have out there on that online platform, you can ask questions directly in our community page, and you can upload your golf swing onto that community page. And myself and the rest of the team, we're all elite certified here. We talk about just the golf swing together as a tribe, as a family, all the time, every single week at minimum. And so the information that you're going to be presented with from every single one of our coaches is going to be under the exact same umbrella. Like, you're not going to hear, like a stack and tilt theory, and then a David Ledbetter A swing, and then Jim Flick, and then single plane versus two, and just confuse the ever-loving Lord out of you, right? So, like, what I would really encourage you to do is get on that online academy. Typically, it's $20 per month. Right now, we're running a special that's $12 per month. You can sign up for a full year as well. I think for a full year with us, it's like $144 or something like that. So we're putting it on such a low price because we literally want every golfer in the world to be on that platform, because we truly believe that it's going to help every single player play better golf. So if we can help the world population go play golf, I'm dying a very happy man. That's the reason that we developed the online academy. All of our single lessons, sometimes it prices certain players out of the ability to work with us. So we wanted to develop something that can help everybody at a really reasonable rate. And we're super proud of that thing. We just started today's conversation with an understanding that, look, like, we're so pumped because we're back on the lives. Second, we just today launched a new masterclass on there that answers that question exactly. It's 13, I can't remember if it's 12 or 13 videos, 12 videos. It's called the Elite Method. It's our newest masterclass on there. It goes over how to tie in body, club, rhythms, loads, unloads, overall ball striking in a really, really deep dive to give you a really good understanding of what the golf swing is, and how you can tie in ball performance with the golf swing that you're building. I'm incredibly proud of it, and I'm so happy to share it with everybody. I know everybody that watches it and starts to develop those principles is going to be a better player. So I encourage you to check it out. If you have more questions, just reach right out to us and we can help you out with that. Thanks so much for asking.
Yep. I felt like that can address everybody in the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I think the two people that watch us on Facebook. Nice. I see that question very often. So
yeah, in every one of our bios, so either on Facebook, it's the link in our bio. On Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, just click that, and if you have interest in just seeing what those offerings are, again, no pressure. Well, a little bit of pressure because I know when you get on it, you're going to freaking play better golf. So I would encourage you to do it. But click on Online Academy, and it'll take you to that website, and you'll see all the information right there. So enough said. Let's answer your next question.
Yes, sir. Sarav.
That's a cool name, Sarav.
Pitch versus punch trail elbow. What's your preferred matchup?
Pitch versus punch trail elbow. Is it pitch, P-I-T-C-H?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just talk to you about what my preference is in the trail elbow. I'm assuming we're talking about through the hit as well. So if we've got this right arm over here and I'm kind of in this load, see, it's my midline's over here, my rib cage is rotated, anterior line's loaded. What I don't want to have happen in this trail arm, this is directly related to the lead arm. Like if I'm right in here, I'm looking all good, and I go to hit. If I lower the lead arm and externally rotate this lead arm this way, what ends up happening is this arm comes back into me. That throws the force in the trail arm and trail elbow out and away, and I'll be heavily pronated in the trail wrist. So if I do this, I'm darn sure not going to turn this, and I'll shove this pelvis up and forward, and that becomes the hit. So I look like this. The problem with that is you throw all kinds of unnecessary stress on individual joint complexes, especially in the elbow and in your lower spine. So golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, I can't remember which side is golfer's elbow and which side is tennis elbow, to be honest, guys. But what you end up doing is you'll throw all of this forced extension into a hyperextension mode, and it all rotates this way. So now you've got lateral pressure shearing this way through the elbow. And the elbow is just a hinge joint. It doesn't like going that way. It doesn't like this. And we overdo it that way when you lower that lead arm. So the preference here is purely, okay, you'll have some amount of, this is shoulder flexion, arm lift. So the arms do lift to some degree. And then as I transition, this will go down. This is shoulder extension now, is arm lowering. So the arm does go into some amount of extension here. I like to see most of that in transition so that through the hit, I can have mostly in the trail arm adduction here. Boom. So see how there's no like tumble out here? I can also unload it from an extension to flexion, kind of an unload in the hands. So I look like that through the hit. See how now the structuring that I have there is darn near the same as where I started. So I never reorganize the arms through the hit, which number one feels a heck of a lot better because I can manage where the doggone club face is. We play a racket sport. So if I do this to the racket, I have no control over the golf ball. If I do this to the racket, I have total control of the golf ball. So that's a perk. Plus, arm structure. Dude, you don't need to frickin' hurt yourself playing this doggone game. You really don't. So if you move better, you're gonna throw all that injury opportunity and pretty much set it aside. Okay, so that's what I would prefer, is just to see this right arm moving more in this adduction type of a map. Obviously, the lead arm is moving in more of an abduction, but this is the active hit in the upper arms. That's what I would prefer to see out of almost every single player.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. All right. Anders, what up, dog?
What up, Anders?
My club often exits higher than it enters, so club head goes through my upper body in delivery, but exits at the shoulder level. Problem?
To a degree, yes. Because if that happens, you're going to have too much lateral bend in your spine. Your rib cage is going to look like it just tilts in here. Okay, a lot of that is relative to the pelvis. It's all one thing. This is not a chicken or the egg thing. So I would look at pelvis and ribs. What I would really suggest that you do is once you go halfway here and now you go, I'm going to move into this transition. So now we've got booty move, we got rib cage, we got organization here. I'd be really active in sending this golf club like out of your chest and around your barrel of your chest. See how now I stay in this posture and I can send it over here? If you're in here and we have any lateral move in here. See what that does to like the look of the club in here where the handle is going? And so as it releases, where's that thing gonna appear? So we're gonna have more of that kind of a look. See where that golf club unloads? That's all to do with the shape of the ribs. So what you gotta ask yourself is, do the shape of the ribs get whacked out because I'm active with the ribs? Or is it because I'm active with the pelvis and now I get in the same shape? See this tilt, like I'm in this shape. Compared to here, now I go whoop, straight vertebrate mode. And from here, if I just unload this golf club and my body supports this unload, I'm in here. See how much different that golf club is gonna exit through here. Now it's through the ribs and around. But it's not like we're trying to get it low left. It's because from here, if I just send that tether ball around me, the tether ball pole, woo, there's where it goes. And it'll end up going around you low left because of that. So it's just gonna increase your stability in the face and your ability to unload energy in a really precise way. But if you're unloading a bunch of energy, there's bombs. So we hit precise bombs. So I'd work on that for sure, my man. I'd work on that for sure.
Yes, sir. Dean Sanderson. Hey, guys. Hey, guys.
What up,
Sorry,
Dean?
there we go, a little Herbert there. Hey, guys.
That's scary good. You shouldn't be proud of that.
No, I should not be. I'm just good at impressions. All right. Maybe I'll have a day where I just do it. No, I shouldn't do impressions all day because I might get in trouble.
It's the day and age that we live. He's very good at them, though.
Yes.
Yes.
I've been working very hard on the swivel drop of the pelvis. I'm seeing some great trends, but I'm constantly fighting pull shots due to my arms getting stuck behind my body.
It's weird. Fighting pull shots because the arms are stuck behind. Usually you'd hit these like wipers over here.
Or maybe if it's our terminology, spin out, so maybe staying hard right side pressure.
Yeah.
And just
and then it just goes wham through here.
Straight left.
Okay. So what's nice is your pelvis is getting better. Great. It's sometimes one of the hardest things for us to really train somebody is like this being supportive of what we're looking to do up here. So let's just say that right here, it's not big enough. Right here, so right-hand player, target's over here. Right on my outstep of my lead moon boot right here is a wall. And so if I go back here and I take this fist and I just want to frickin' like hit this wall, I could hit it in one of two different ways. I could go over and hit this wall. So see how I'm taking all the energy and it goes directly into that wall this way. This is an over spiral pattern. So if I take upper body, see how the trail scap elevates and then protracts over this way as I rotate, boom. So I have this kind of shape in my shoulder axis. This is throwing pattern, okay? Football, baseball, lacrosse, blah, blah, blah. Okay, golf, we're hockey, okay? Because the object that we want to hit is on the floor. So if I go over, this is a big problem, all right? What I'd like you to sense, we go back to this wall right here. If I ball up this fist and I want to hit directly into it down here, I would go boom. Intuitively, see how the pelvis is going to stay more underneath me? I haven't told anybody to hit this wall and they go, got it, and they just shove their pelvis up here and like throw this. It never happens. But if I just go right here, boom. So here's this wall right here now. There's my new target. Boom. Look at my shoulder axis. And what that will help you with is this intention to move through the shot in this manner. So if I go boom, right in here, boom, see how I'm active with the arm hit? The rib cage supports that intention of arm hit. See how like punchy that looks? But watch the pelvis support that. See how the pelvis is still under me? I'm heavy in this rotation, but it's under in here, so now I can stabilize the hit. And that should get rid of a ton of the pull. I'm just thinking like without seeing your swing, I almost guarantee that we've got good pelvis, but this club is too far on top here. So now as you deliver it, it's in here. We've got to get that club in here. This is more, see where that arm is moving with the intention to hit here? I would never go like this to try to hit it unless I'm trying to go over. So see how that scap stays high, club's over, pull, boom, I'm in here. There's uppercut into that wall, lower into the wall. So let's just see if that works. It's an interesting comment because it's actually backward of where I would think that you would be if you feel like the arms are back there. Typically we hit either like rip hooks or big flares that way. If you're on our online academy, definitely post your swing. Let us know what's happening with the golf ball, and you'll get a response back as soon as we possibly can, usually within a couple of days, to help you out. I'd really encourage you to do that if you can.
All right, because I'm feeling kind of happy for the live stream, we'll hop a little bit into YouTube comment. STXGEGY. What's up, dog?
What up, G?
So you mentioned talk about tilt. That was really your only question.
Talk about tilt?
Yeah, talk about tilt.
Okay, so tilt is inevitably how we describe tilt here, and this is shout out to Luke Brackey. I just stole this directly from him. Is rib cage teeter totter here. So I'm getting lateral bend in my spine in the L spine. See how the pivot point is down here? Tilt, tilt, tilt. Bend, okay? This is lateral bend at the end of the day. But how we're defining good bends is if my rib cage moves in one direction. See, let me go back a step. If my rib cage goes to my right side and I'm also in right lateral bend, that's the flaw. If I go rib cage left lateral bend, that's the flaw as well. So if my ribs go in the same direction as the bend, problem. If my ribs go in one direction but I'm in the opposite lateral bend, greatness. See how my ribs go over to my right side, but I'm in lead lateral bend. Ribs go left, trail lateral, right, lead lateral, boom. This is proper bends, okay? Notice how the ribs are moving in here. Totally different athlete than this guy. That's how we're defining tilt in our language at the academy. So we don't like tilt, we like bend, but it's just, that's all we're doing is defining where the rib cage is moving in space, its lateral direction, and pairing that with the opposite lateral bend in the spine. That's our preference. Healthier movement by far, by the way.
Yes, sir. Healthy
sir.
movement.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's go back to online. Joe.
What up, Joe?
When
My
you
man,
drop
Joe.
the hips, are you dropping your butt straight back or towards your lead heel?
Neither. Please do not think of it as, do me a favor, this is hard to do, but just go down this road for me, please. It will yield way better success. Never think of the golf swing in any regard as straight lines. We're developed as humans to try to think that way, and it's harder for us to see curvature, but think of everything as a curve. We have pelvic rotation. There is drop, but don't think of it as necessarily a direction, like a line in space. It ruins golf swings. 9 times out of 10 it does. So what I'd like you to sense is, again, the whole reason for pelvic drop or hip flexion is to make sure that my transverse plane or my chest can stay pitched down. That's all we're doing. So just this pressure keeps me in this type of an attitude. This moves me into this type of an attitude. Those are totally different athletes. The hit is going to feel completely different. The rotation of the pelvis within that space, as long as I stay dropped in, is the whole attitude. So see how, like, if I explain it that way, I'm not trying to move my pelvis really in any other direction other than this quarter circle that we sense in the sacrum move in the transition. So if I get back in here into backswing, which 9 times out of 10 reasonable players do this okay, my sacrum right now is right here next to this, like if I look bird's eye view, straight down is right next to that lead heel. if I move my pelvis appropriately, see where that goes? It goes this way. I'll show you this from behind as well. So if I'm right here, it goes, whoop. So see how that goes at the camera? At first it goes at the camera and immediately starts curving away from the target. See that move, that move. And I'm just staying in hip flexion as I do that. Boom, boom. So the sacrum move is away from golf ball and away from target. The whole doggone reason for doing that is so that now I can get my rib cage moving forward towards the target. It pressures laterally, but it's also rotating. So I'm not just trying to like shove this up here. We used to call this rib sway. Fricks people up because again, they just think that, oh, I just like sway my ribs up here and hit. No, the ribs are rotating as well as swaying forward. It's curved. See how much my rib cage rotated? So think of your pelvis as how it moves in space, in curved space. So we're not trying to like get up here and then I need to drop it either straight down or towards the left heel. This is like, that's not the move. We want this. That's a curved shape. This is a curved shape. This is a curved shape. Look at all the friggin' curves in the golf swing. Everything's curved, no straight lines. Woo. All right, time for maybe one more.
I think we got one more. Going back to
goodie.
Senor Connor.
Nice.
I'm a right leg jumper, and so my right leg wants to generate the power in my swing. Any extreme tips to stop that? Trying everything to approach channel over the years, but still struggle.
Yeah,
or
buddy.
on the app channel over the years.
So, but like, look, at the end of the day, what's really cool, and we are all super proud of here as coaches, is every single one of our athletes looks a little bit different. I'm speaking to the athletes that get into what we go, that's nice, that's a good shape of the golf swing right there. Like our playing professionals, Dylan Stewart, Chris Cordy, Ches, they all look much different from one another. Seb Zermack, much different than friggin' Caleb Greiner. Like they all look remarkably different, but you look at them and you're like, damn, that looks good. So if you have a little bit of quote unquote jump in your right leg, do we want to get rid of all of that? Probably not. Like that's going to take, like you need some amount of like little bit of a signature in there that makes you, so you still look like you. You don't look like you're just artificially made up. Like Adam Scott doesn't look right to me. Like, there's something wrong. Mm-hmm. Right? He hits all the positions, but it doesn't look quite right. Then you look at Hovland, and I'm like, dude, that guy's a freaking gangster. But like all of his positions are fairly unique. And I'm throwing shade at like two guys that are freaking unbelievable players, right? So look, like you just need to decide, like, first of all, if your right leg jumps, why is that bad? You better be able to answer that question before getting rid of it. The other thing is you want to go, well, how much am I going to allow? Because if I'm jumping here, like how I'm interpreting that is pretty excessive extension early in this trail hip. So if I do a lot of this, then I can't rotate as much and I'm going to express the golf club to the golf ball this way. So how much do I need to keep this like dropped in so I can add some amount of rotation in here? And it introduces more stability in the hip because I can be more rotary, and look at that friggin' racket down there. It's not wobbling all over the place here. I'm turning it into it. So I think the question more is like, how much am I going to allow and how much more rotation do I need to introduce into the pelvis and into the rib cage? I would go about it from that standpoint rather than just getting sick and tired of you seeing jumping in your golf swing. I promise you one thing, pal, like when I look at my golf swing too, I teach this every single day. I work on it in my own swing. I video myself on camera and I'm like, I'm still doing this in freaking BS. And we're mad, right? Like you're just, if you go about it from that standpoint, you'll never love your golf swing. And at the end of the day, like you want to love the process of improving your swing and just deciding how much of you want to keep in there and introduce items in your swing that are going to help you with your overall ball striking. You go about it that way, I think you're gonna one, have way more enjoyment out of working on your game and on your swing, and two, you'll still remain true to you and have like you in that action, which is important. You want some amount of quirk. Okay. How did we do, Jay? We got back online. We got lives going. Life's feeling good right now, huh?
I am so happy.
You actually don't know how disappointed Jackson was. He was like, you were kind of close to like breaking some stuff.
Yes, there almost needed to be a heavy credit card bill on some new Roadcasters. Almost my laptop.
Yep. So you made Jackson's day because you were able to get on here live. So guys, thanks so much to all of you that joined us live today. Thank you for joining. Anybody and everybody joining later and watching this recording, either on YouTube or on our online platform, please, throw in your questions there. We log them and we get to as many as we possibly can. Until a week from now, you know the drill. Flushers only, dog. Let's go. Talk to you.